What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TVs. Apologize for the black screen, man. My computer's acting stupid, man. So I want to just do a video talking about Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans, and of course, last night against the Utah Jazz, it was a phenomenal game that he had against the Utah Jazz. A game that went into overtime, I believe. The final score, I think, was 138 to 134, I think. And Donovan Mitchell had a career game in his own right. I believe it was a career high for him, 46 points. But Brandon Ingram had a career high game in his own right with 49 points on 15 of 25 shooting from the floor and 16 of 20 from the foul line. And Brandon Ingram has truly solidified himself as a legitimate all-star this year. Brandon Ingram, of course, was the second overall pick for the Los Angeles Lakers back in the 2017 NBA draft. And his tenure in Los Angeles was decent. Was he a certifiable all-star during those years? No, it was a little bit more up and down, but you could definitely see the potential there when he was with Los Angeles. The last time I did a video talking about Brandon Ingram, unfortunately, was during a low light in his, not only his basketball life, but also his personal life, when he was diagnosed with the blood clots. And all of us at the time were reminded of Chris Bosh and how he had to retire due to having blood clots. Not only is it something that could threaten your career, in a severe form, it could affect your life if you're not careful. So I believe Brandon Ingram took the right types of medications. And fortunately for Brandon Ingram, his condition was not as severe nor nearly as extensive as Chris Bosh's, so he was able to resume his career. And Brandon Ingram has truly reached new heights so far. This season, after this performance, Brandon Ingram is averaging 25.8 points, 6.8 rebounds, 4.3 assists on 47% shooting from the floor, 40% from beyond the arc. And where he's shown the most improvement, he's 86% from the foul line. Coming into this season, Brandon Ingram was a below average free throw shooter, shooting usually somewhere in the low to mid 60 percentile. But he's really been working hard on his game. You could see it. Like I said, this season he's 86%, which is above average. Damn near like an elite foul shooter. I consider an elite foul shooter someone who shoots about 90%. A good free throw shooter, 80% average, about 75, somewhere in that range. And anything under 70 is like below average. And if you're under 60, then you really need to work on your foul shooting. I mean, unless you're like a guy like Shaq or Wilt, a big guy with big, huge hands, strong, you really don't have any reason to be shooting under 6% from the foul line. Brandon Ingram overall offensive game is phenomenal. I got a friend of mine on Twitter, Jesse Gladsaget, who posted something as I kind of might have to agree with, man. I didn't really think about it, but he was saying that outside of Kevin Durant, in his opinion, Brandon Ingram has the smoothest offensive game in the NBA. And one thing I've noticed about this season that I didn't really see as much in Brandon Ingram before is his ability to drive effectively toward the basket. I don't really remember seeing that before in his game with the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't remember him being an effective, or at least a consistently effective catch and shoot guy. He's always been a guy that had to have the basketball ISO type shit, but he's really expanded his game, and he's a legitimate all-star. And, next week, Zion Williamson comes back. It's going to take a while for Zion Williamson to get to where, his full potential, hopefully. Hopefully, this doesn't become a consistent problem with Zion Williamson, but you know how that goes. But anyway, individually at least, for Brandon Ingram, the future is very bright. Whether it's with the Pelicans or whatever organization, because you got to remember this guy is only 22 years old. He's even far ahead of where Giannis was at that same age. Now, Giannis really started coming into his own when he was 24. He's 25 now. Ingram is 22. So he has a full decade and some change of playing at an elite level, a high level. He's not even reaching his peak yet. So, if he can work on other aspects of his game, he could be a potential top 2 or 3 guy in the next 3 or 4 years. So this is my thing about the NBA. A lot of people feel like this, and I'm going to bring him in the conversation again. What's going to happen to the league when LeBron retires? The league is going to be fine. Honestly, a lot of people are going to be relieved when he retires because some of us are just getting tired of him. It's the LeBron fatigue factor. Like I said, it's really not a knock on him. It's the media. 10 years ago, there was this tremendous, at least for, I think, people outside of LA, we were starting to get a little tired of Kobe, man. Just a little tired of Kobe. And it wasn't because we were necessarily tired of him in his own right. We were tired of listening to the media, always talking about Kobe, comparing him to Mike, and there was no other guys in the NBA apparently other than Kobe Bryant. And, but then again, they did the same thing to Mike toward the end of that last 3-peat too, so it would just be nice if the NBA, if the analysts could just market everybody with the same energy, but that's a whole nother video. But Brandon Ingram, you wonder if you're the Lakers, you wonder in about maybe another 3 or 4 years, you wonder, damn, should we have given up on him? So that's why the Lakers, in my opinion, they got to win a championship this year. They've got to win a championship because if they don't, it's going to be all for naught. It's going to be all for naught if they don't win a championship. Because they would have essentially given up their future for a short-term, prospect of championships. And there's no guarantee that Anthony Davis is going to stay there in Los Angeles. So we'll see. But back to Brandon Ingram though, man. It's a good thing, man. Like I said, last year, some of us was wondering whether or not he would even still be playing at this level. Whether he'd still be playing at all. So that's pretty much it, man. That's all I got to say, man. Tell me what you guys think.